What is going on? I am Johnny Von Duke and you are watching Disney Channel. Why the fuck do I keep doing this intro? Man, oh man, traveling in the United States just got fun. And traveling to the United States. What's going on, everybody? Johnny Von fucking Duke here. And today we got some stories, man. We got some stories. Now listen, I included these stories today because A, I feel like it would mix it up a little bit, and B, I just find them stupid as hell. Yeah, you guys know how we vibe here on the channel. We hardly ever do anything serious. When we do, there's usually like a 2-minute long disclaimer before the video. This time, man, it's just wonderful goofiness incarnate. Now, we are going to start with the first story of the day, which involves California banning travel to 26 states. Now, I want to make one thing clear. This is a little bit older news, but the list has gotten bigger, which is why I'm covering this. Now, I want to make one thing clear. Public transport is still a thing. You can still travel into these states, no problem. The thing is, if you want to go on something state-sponsored, you want to start a company, go do some, your main funding is in California, whatever. Well, this law is basically saying, hey, if you want the state to sponsor you to travel to a state, well, they better not have any discriminatory laws. Which, yeah, makes sense, but the debate on discriminatory laws goes very far and becomes a very big gray area. We are not going to discuss said gray area. One thing we will discuss, however, is this map. This lovely map. Oh, I'm actually covering some of the states. Hold on, let me put myself in the barn fucking corner. Y'all see this? These are all the states banned. Here's California over in the end, and here's everything else. Now, the most notable ones to me is Georgia, Florida, Texas. Cutting Georgia out of this because I don't know a lot about Georgia. I just know it has a fairly decent-sized populace. But between Florida and Texas, that's a lot of people, man, that you're cutting out. Like, listen, reality is Texas and Florida, all these other states too, but more so for Texas and Florida specifically, like massive companies in there, man. Massive areas where you can make some serious, buku bucks off the populace. So, California basically saying, hey, we won't sponsor you, we won't help you set up business, we won't help you travel, my bad, we won't help you travel over here to help expand things, Yeah, that's cutting the people of California out of basically everything happening in these states. Before this law, reality is, businessmen, all this stuff, they could be government sponsored by California. They can set up businesses in these other states and all that stuff, and then, bring more money back to Calli, at least in theory. So it's kind of shocking that you're looking at easily a good half of the United States cut out of this. And yeah, like I said, the list got bigger. I know it shows it on here, but Wyoming, Nebraska, Missouri, Oakland. I'm just kidding about Oakland. But yeah, this is amazingly horrible. And it's just, I don't know what you want me to say to this. This is jarring. Super jarring. I don't know what you want me to say. Because from what I'm able to gather, and here, this comes from, literally the .gov site. Yeah, right here. It says it right up there. I said Canada. I fucking said Canada. Yes, we are in Canada now. No, California, government site, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, this literally comes from the horse's mouth. So right down here they state, the state of California recently added Georgia, Arizona, Indiana, Louisiana, and Utah. Man, so AB 1887 travel restrictions list for enacting similar laws discriminating against LGBTQ plus youth. Once these states are all added, California will have included 26 states to the AB, blah, blah, blah. For additional information, yada, yada, yada. Now, I tried looking up these laws, and I just got a mixed bag of random reports, so I'm just gonna go with what it stays. What it says stays. I'm sorry. So what's gonna happen here is I'm just gonna read off. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at that stutter there. We're just gonna read off the one for Nebraska right now, so we could just get an idea of what's happening with the rest of them. Because, buddy, I am not deciphering every single, every single little minute detail that results in these places getting banned for state-funded travel and all that stuff. So we're just going to read Nebraska. You can look up the rest later if you want, but this is just so you can get an idea. So Nebraska is being added to California's state-funded travel restricted list as a result of Nebraska's new law, legislative bill number .574 LB 574 Let Them Grow Act, which was signed into law on May 22nd, 2023 by Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen? I'm not sure how to say that. LB 574 makes it a departure from the medical standard to care to provide gender-affirming care for someone who is 19 years older or old or younger, except subjugated to rigorous criteria and regulations to be developed by the state's chief medical officer in subjects healthcare practitioners. I should probably not read with sunglasses on. To liability, including attorney's fees for providing such care, and deny state funding to any entity not in compliance. Nebraska will be added to California's travel restricted list when the law becomes effective on October 1st, 2023. So hey, Nebraska, you have until October 1st, apparently. Well, yeah, so, what does this boil down to me? Well, 50 Shades of Stupid. 50 Shades of very, very stupid. Why is this stupid to me? Well, like I said again, you're basically cutting California out of all this profit, essentially. And if this was just Texas and just Florida, that already alone would have been bad. But you have 26 states on here. Like half the country, you can't get state funding to go to these places and stuff like that, which I've never needed anyway. But mind you, this is for people in a little bit of a higher up bracket compared to you and me. So yeah, I just find this slightly amazing, slightly scary, ever so very stupid. And I guess my biggest thing, other than the money, is just, what is this accomplishing? Okay, yes, let's go with the theory of you keep everyone in California, you keep all the in-house production to yourself, you seize the means, let's say that does happen with this, which is what I feel like they are realistically trying to accomplish with this. Okay. Now you're just a very big, powerful industrial powerhouse, and this little box, as opposed to the giant box. You don't have access to the giant box. You have access to the smaller box, and you have all this just crammed together. This just feels so short-sighted. It's not like you can expand California. It's not like you can, well, who knows, maybe they'll try this. It would be interesting to watch, but it's not like you can invade neighboring states to expand your territory. I don't have the damnedest clue what there really is a benefit here. Yes, let's assume they seize the means of production. Let's assume they get what I think they're trying to do in the long term here. It's gonna be so useless, crammed up into that little tiny box that, well, California isn't tiny, but in the grand scheme of the United States and then the world, I just hit my microphone, and then the world, it's kind of useless stuck in that box. I don't know what you want me to say, crackhead Von Duke. I don't know what you want me to say here, man. This is just stupid. And now, let's move on to the next thing that is slightly less stupid because it actually makes some form of sense, but yet still somehow they manage to take a simple concept and fuck it up royally. Yep, we're talking about it. We're not specifically talking about what the headline is stating. I just have this up as a showpiece, but yeah, Texas has been wilding a little bit. Yeah, there's a new border, and here, I'll show you guys the border real quick. Along the Rio Grande, like, this border has existed for a while, but not to the degree that has existed of today, and as of recent, because before, buddy, yeah, this wasn't here. This wasn't here. Parts of it are up, not all of it is up, but yeah, this shit is fucking wild. And here, I'll blow it up for y'all, because that image to me is just surreal as fucking shit. Like, that's just a long ass water border, and that's going like past cities and all that stuff too that you can see in the background. You can see those buildings. This is just interesting, in a bad way, in a good way, but okay, let's cover the good way. First off, people can't just take boats and get into the United States. Even though, to me, I honestly don't give a shit. You can wander through my backyard for all I care. Just don't come into my house. Like, listen, I live in cityscape area, okay? So, personal space for me is already pretty lacking. Now, I'm lucky I live in an actual house, so I'm a little bit better off than a lot of the people who just live in apartments in my area. So, there's that. I have a little bit more space than the common man in my area. So, that's a good thing. But to me, as someone from the city, I just look at this and laugh a little bit. Because they want to talk about invasion of privacy and all that stuff. Like, yeah, you don't have the slightest clue. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, you want your privacy thrown away for a little bit? Just visit your local city. Yeah, you won't feel like you have a private moment at all in your life. But shit posting aside. But yeah, we just have this giant water border now that looks hideous. I mean, yes, it does serve a practical function. Realistically, you do want to know who's in your country, though. Let's keep it above 100 for a second. Like, realistically, you do want to know who is coming into your country. So, I don't have a problem with the actual border part of this. Even though I believe you should not fuck with the river. Like, if it was me, it wouldn't even be a wall. It would just be a fence along our main line with cameras and stuff like that. Which, honestly, just having surveillance drones feel like it would be doing a lot more than this. But that's my personal thought process. Like, in my mindset, like, drones are the future. Like, realistically to me, having 20 drones flying up and down this river, taking video footage, swapping it out, all that stuff, that to me seems like a lot more of a logical solution to this problem, because, well, then you have footage from 20 different drones of that whole area. You can, like, basically geomap the whole place every day. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that there feels like some more practical ways we could be solving this problem. But moving back to the article in question, just so we have our proper feature piece, things are also popping off in the regard of this is becoming dodgy territory. And no, not dodgy in the sense of protecting the border. That's again, we are pretty bad at the moral aspect of that, but common sense says you should still have some form of defense at the border. But so what's the dodgy part? Well, the dodgy part is it's basically starting to look like a resource war. And I don't even know why. Like, realistically, in the year 2023, when you have all of our water purification technology and methods we have, like, it shouldn't feel like it, but it feels like we're in a resource war for water, or more specifically, Texas is. Now, I know Texas did suffer from a few droughts a little bit ago. A lot of the South did. So, I guess it actually is kind of plausible. But it's like, just look at it from the practical perspective here. A, And well, let's take it a little bit further. Sections of that wall does have underwater netting. Okay, sections of that wall does have underwater netting. So there's that. So no, you can't swim under it in all cases either. So take this statement with a grain of salt. Okay, is basically what I'm saying. They can just go over top of it. You know, to my knowledge, it's not like the wall is spiked or anything. At least not from the image we saw. So it's like, realistically, yeah, you're stopping the boat, you're not stopping the people. So there's that factor too. But the other factor along with the fact is, well, there is razor wire now, apparently. I don't know how true this is, because I was looking up images on the side. This is the only image I have seen with any razor wire across the water border, so that's what I'm gonna say. More photos will probably come out later, but that'll be later. And this video is getting edited at 3:14 p.m. before I go to work, and probably won't be uploaded till lunchtime tomorrow or the day after, so there you go. But on top of that, even more so on top of that, it just makes the river fucking useless. Like, I didn't want to say this, but I have a little bit of a heavy bias here, man. I love the water. I hate the water, but I love the water. You know, as a human being who partakes in many liquid beverage, this isn't water. This is water, however. Here we go. This is Propel, but it counts as water, you know. As a liquid drinking human being, you know, I heavily appreciate the ability to get to the local water source when I need to. So when you have half that water source blocked off, it's not really a matter of what country you're from, you know. If you share this river with another country, you know, that's just the bag you're stuck dealing with. But it's like, if you're making half the river unusable, I'm gonna have some problems. Right? Like, let's be real. It doesn't. Let's destroy everything here. Let's destroy all illusions. Let's keep it above 100. If it was Mexico doing this to Texas, people would be the same amount pissed off. Okay? And it's Texas doing it to Mexico. You know, people are gonna be pissed off no matter what. So let's destroy the illusion and keep it above 100. God, now I'm quoting Optimus Prime. I'm just kidding. Optimus from YouTube. But so, like. Okay, so why do you think they're pissed off? Like, you're making half the river, like, unusable to the other half. Like, let's destroy the whole immigration, illegals, legal, migrants, what? Bleh. Let's destroy all that for a second. Like, reality is, if you want to know why people are pissed off about this, it's the fact you're making a water source unusable, basically. That's why people are getting mad at Texas. If Mexico was doing this, that would be the reason why people are getting mad at Mexico. Yes, sure, it has slightly to do with migrants, illegals, legals, blah, blah, blah. I'm indigenous. I don't give a fuck. Y'all can, like, go at each other with spears for all I care. Like, my people already had their run, buddy. I'm just here to enjoy the show. I need some popcorn along with it, though. Like, so that's just how I am right now. You know, I don't give a fuck. Go have your fun with your borders and all that stuff. Because it didn't mean shit for my people, man. So... That's just how I view it. Like, you just can have your fun with the border, blah, 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 blah. Reality is, you are only pissed off because the water source is now unusable. So, here is my grand proposal as the Von Dukiest of all Johnnies. You know, here is my grand proposal on how we deal with these issues right now. You know, we get rid of that water border. You know, here's a genius idea. Yeah, the drones were a good one, but here's something that would probably work out pretty well in the grand scheme of things, and would actually go to great lengths to help strengthen the relationships. Yeah, I know that's a crazy concept. Strengthening relationships with other countries. That's a very insane concept in America, but you know, dare I suggest we I don't know, like, have mutual patrols, you know, joint agreed upon patrols between Texas, Mexico, the US, you know, mutual patrols that both parties play a part in, you know, where they work together. actually try to solve the issue, try to work together to beat the problem. I'm just saying, we might get a whole hell of a lot farther if we actually opened up communication as opposed to putting in useless balls in the water. Like, I'm just saying, man, I got some balls in myself, but you don't see me dipping them in the water acting like it's a border. My balls aren't a border. What are you talking about, man? Your balls aren't a border. They're attached to you. They can't be a border. The only thing they're a border of are the sperm that comes out of your little dingling. I have been Johnny Von Duke, and it is time to take it away, other me, and don't cross the water border, man.
Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's pretty much a nothing burger, but if you've been watching my channel for all 8 years that's existed, you should know that's kind of what we do here. Anyway, if you somehow found yourself enjoying it, click over here to watch another video, click over here to watch another degenerate video, click here to subscribe to my channel, then click down there for, well, whatever lazy lack of originality content I put there. Anyway, get the fuck out of here, you filthy animal. Goodbye.